Cowabunga, dudes. Welcome to OkFixer. Okay, here's the 67 Beetle we're going to do a little more work on. We're trying to transform this into an actual car. So, you know, if you go back through my videos, it's, wow. Yeah, I went back through them the other day and I was like, geez, Dan, it would have been easier just for you to buy one. Pardon the noise. I have the ventilators on in here because it's 675 degrees. You could bake a cake in here, and you'd think the heat would break, being it's nearly October, but it hasn't yet. The weather forecast shows in another couple of weeks it's going to be down into the 70s and 80s, but still it's in the 90s now. I wanted to show you this too. Is seen a deal on Hot VWs the other day. A guy was showing a bunch of old Hot VW magazines and what things cost and stuff like that. And here's the reason why I don't subscribe to Hot VWs anymore. I like the classics in there. I think they look good. Now this is only my opinion, you know. This is a fine magazine. There's a couple of things I like in here. Transporter Talk, and I like Randy Carlson. And this is the place for, you know, if you want to, you know, learn about Volkswagens and how they work and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of neat stuff in here. But every by God one of these is lowered, or it has big freaking chrome rims on it, or a 3-liter engine. You know, but here's the deal: is I never knew or never thought about this, but what this says, it says dune buggies and hot VWs. Okay, so if you want to learn how to lower and put Porsche rims on your Hebmuller. My God, look what they've done to that. It's a Hebmuller, for God's sakes. What are you doing? Or if you want to learn how to turn your 46 Ramich into a sand rail, yeah, how about this one? Oh, look, there's fire coming out of it. Look, 188 miles an hour. That's for me. Oh, here's a classic. Here's Cowabunga, dudes. Now, it used to be the cow look. Now it's da. Yeah. Hawaiian look. It's the Hawaiian look. What's the Hawaiian look? Take a beautiful little Volksy and slam it to the ground and put some wacky ass. God. Okay, that's my opinion. That's why I don't subscribe to this anymore. Incidentally, I am subscribed to this magazine up to 2021. However, they sent me a renewal notice, renewal for those of you in Rio Linda, and I didn't pay the renewal, and they quit sending me magazines. But I'm not going to complain. Never mind. Okay, back to the Volkswagen. We have some ventilation tubes here I want to put in. And I wanted to show you this because I didn't show you on the other side. So, what we have, if you remember, I put these pipes in there, and I glued them to the side there, used as isolators with some brown 25, and they are screwed to the bottom of the heat channel. And as you can remember, when I was doing metal work on this way back in Nam, that I had some rusted areas here, so I cut these out and I put those tubes in there, and I put some sheet metal screws in there and glued it on there. And my idea is this air that's coming through here, it's not being blowed very hard, and I want to get everything I can out of it to get it up to my dash to defrost my window. I did the same with the other side, and what I want to do is show you how this goes in here. So without further ado, let me grab those parts in a little brown 25 and we'll get after it. Okay, here's our unit, and I'm going to try to, I don't know if I can hold this at the same time, get some light on that, and show you exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that wiring doesn't get caught up in there. This is going to have to come this way. I've put copious amounts of brown 25 on this. You can use whatever you want to use. You can use bathtub caulk or silicone or you know, whatever. Fluorescent green silicone with little gold sparklies in it, the kind they make fishing lures out of. You can use that if you want to. And I'm going to kind of position this so it's down in that pipe. I'm going to give her a little spin. Now I got to get this top pipe on. Will it go or will it not? She told me once, but I forgot. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see. Without completely tearing this pipe up. Yeah, I think it'd go on there. Well, I'm glad I've got another piece of pipe because I've destroyed this one. Ha! Try again. Okay, once again, one more time. Let's try this here. Let's put that down in there. Oh dear, I've cut myself. Let's see here. Put that down in there. Let's see if we can get that on there without doing too much damage. Oh, there it is. There she is. Now, there it is. Now, there's that pipe. And there is, oh, I don't know if you can see it or not. There's, yeah, kind of hard to see. There's that pipe. Okay. We didn't do too much to knock the wiring out of where that brown and white wire right there is for the, you got to fish that out of there actually for the dome light switch. Okay. Since we have copious amounts of brown 25 down here, I'm going to give it a little grandma's finger and smooth that over a little bit. Oh, that's great. That light should be shining right up in your eyes in a minute. Yes, alright, yeah. Now, you know, you don't have to do this. It's just my contention if you put a little sealant around that, you're going to get a half a micron more of air flow through there. I don't know. Brother Brian said it slapped a hair lip on him to put a pipe, one of those hoses down there, and get it on that heat exchanger. So that's why I did this, so I wouldn't have a hair lip, you know. So I think that'll work pretty good. It doesn't look the best, but it's new piping and it's glued on there and it's fine. And as a bonus, while I was doing some paint work, I decided I'd liberally dump some red base coat all over my parts. So that's one of them that I dumped the red base coat on. Okay, let's get the hose going from there up to the defroster duct. Did I say duck? Duct. There we go, that's better. Ha! Now that's funny. Just when you think you have everything, you don't. I don't have a pipe for that. I thought I ordered two, looked all over for it. Do not. I only ordered one. So I'll have to order another pipe. No problem. We can go on to something else. And since we're not going to put a speaker there, it should be relatively easy to run up there. And there's not a whole lot up there. So we can do that. We can do that later. Let's work on, I guess, radio delete plate, fuel gauge, speedometer cable, wiring the speedometer, wiring the stereo, and the ashtray. Now, I have not looked and seen if I had all the parts for the ashtray or not. Chances are it's the same thing with the glove box. So let me find these parts and we'll go from there. Okay, I've kind of sanded those down a little bit. I did a little wire wheel on them. Those are the ashtray parts I did find. They are not broken or what have you, so it's a Christmas miracle. So I put a little on them. Yeah, there you go, beautiful, nice. And once those dry, we'll put it together. I sprayed a little, yeah, on my and a little, yeah, on my, yeah, ashtrays. So couldn't find the original screws that go in this. Realized that I did not take it apart. See that? Well, what I did is I tapped those two little brackets for what I thought was the correct screws. Those are glove box screws actually, but they will work. I don't know if there was an attachment underneath it that like a sheet metal screw went into or something. I can't find the correct screws, so I'm going to use those and those washers, and best you can, you know. I have our tray in here screwed in, and I put the cap that I painted. Incidentally, I painted this also. I just gave it a little grind, and I painted it with something I found that's really nice. This right here. It's not really shiny, and it makes things look like metal. I painted the back of my speedometer with it also. It made it look really nice. And I'm not going to use an ashtray anyway, so that just fits in there. Or you would think it fits in there, yeah. Does that fit in there? There she is. There. What do you think about that? Okay. Radio delete next. We'll put the chrome on that first, then we'll put the delete in. Well, it looks like you have to put this in first before you put the chrome on, but we can put the clips in or on. Looks like we're going to have to custom swear in order to get them in. Okay, let me get those in, and we'll put that, clip that molding on there. Where the little gizmos twist over, I put a little brown 25 on it, and it came through my dash. So you can let that dry and pick it off later. Same with the block off plate. I'm not going to get in that right now. I'm just going to let that dry, and I'll pick it off later. Had to take my light switch out. I'm going to put that back up there where I can hold it with my fingers through the gas gauge before I put my gas gauge on there. Get this here. I used this 1/4 inch extension, and I tap these in here this way, and then you can tap those in there with the other side. Be real careful tapping those in though. Okay, let's get those tapped in. We'll put our chrome on. When you buy the 4-piece kit from Wolfsburg, you get 2 extra pieces or 1 extra piece. So you want this to kind of fit right there, and then fit right there. There you go. And then of course the gas gauge goes there. Radio delete. But you have this piece here, and that's for the gas gauge right there, in case you have a deleted or maybe an older vehicle. The bullet ends, let's see here, the bullet ends go towards the end, of course. So I can clip that on there with one hand without making a big old mess of things. There we go. Come over a little bit. There we are. Looks kind of weird with those on there, but it's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, I'm going to put my light switch in and then put my gas gauge through. It's pretty straightforward. Not any big deal. You should be able to figure it out. It's got a little knurled nut on the other side. I'll show you. It's got a little knurled nut there. Originally, I think there was a little clip right here. It's broke off, and I laid this underneath. I laid the cable underneath all the wiring. So there you go. Pretty straightforward. It's got a hole right there for a light. We're going to wire that light in there. There, okay. And next, what we're going to do, we're going to put this Harbor City, USA. Nope, Brazilian. Speedometer cable. These parts are from West Coast Metric. This says 100% made in USA. I don't doubt that. This is the little grommet that shoves behind the spindle, and then this pushes into it. Should be pretty straightforward, so let's get that on there. I routed it through that little deal right there. Looks like we get the delivery next door. Comes out here, and then I put a little E-clip on it. It didn't come with a clip, but I put a little clip on it, and it's out up here. And that should go there. There's your speedometer. I'm missing the grommet that goes through here, so I'm going to have to come up with something or probably order a grommet. That's what I'll do. So, yeah. Okay, wiring. I put some power to my horn. Realistically, it's probably not the right horn. It's off of a 69. But I put some power to it and it did not work. I took the outer ring off. There's a little hunk of silicone back there that probably not supposed to be there. And then the screw was tightened up on this spring about 10 turns. And then I was able to take this screw out, and there's a series of contacts that are very corroded. So I'm going to clean those up and put this all back together, and it'll probably work again. So with your original Hella horns, you can do this too. So I don't see anything burn up in there. So let me put this thing back together, and we'll clean those up and have a look at it, see if it works. it wasn't doing anything before. I'm just going to put a couple of screws in it to see if it does anything, and then if it does something, we can go from there. You know, put more screws in it, make adjustments, that sort of thing. Let's get a screwdriver on that, tighten those three up, and then we'll give it a test. I found that if you took and put this in a vise and ever so gently bent this way, don't tighten this up all the way. You want to tighten this up first, so you gradually bring it down. If you tighten this up, it'll bend this contact away from those. So you have to tighten this contact up first, and then tighten this contact up. Okay, let's put it together and we'll fine-tune it a little. I put a little paint on that just because I'm a nice guy. And there are the little rubber boots I got from West Coast Metric. Good luck on putting those over those terminals. You'll have a fun time. I have a wire here, right there, that's damaged, so I'll have to address that in the foreseeable future. And then this wiring harness here, up there, the black one, I don't know. The black one, the horn's hot all the time, so it's going to go up there on a hot post on one of those fuses probably. The brown one, I have to take a wire from this and ground it. I think here. Oh, I know what I got to do. I know. Okay, we have to run a horn wire. Okay, all right. So there's a little hole right here in the edge. For those of you that have the new collapsible steering wheel, it's a okay, and you can just run the wire in there. This is a ground for the steering column, so I'll have to ground that, and then that wire coming off the this one right here, this brown one right here, has to go down to this wire that we're going to run in this pipe here. So when you touch the wire to the ground up there on the steering wheel, essentially that's what you're doing, is when you push the horn button, you're grounding it. It sends a signal down through this wire. I don't know how that's going to work. I know it has to have a ground wire up in it though. Okay, let's get a ground wire. Wait a moment. Okay, the ground's coming from the steering box, okay, because it's grounded. And there's a tab right here, if I can find it. Right there, I got my finger on it, but it's on the other side. And that's going to tab to this, and it's going to go up to the top there. That's not a problem. There's the wire that goes to the horn. That's what that brown wire goes to right there. Because the steering wheel is isolated. See, it has a rubber bumper, has a rubber goof flingy here, has rubber suspension up underneath it, all that good stuff. So this is not grounded until it becomes grounded when you plug a wire into this and it goes through this bolt here into the steering column. That's how it works. I'm just, when I'm not dealing with a positive, ground's just I don't know. It's just what? No. What? No. What? Yeah. So this is our wire that our horn ground is going to come from. But we have to have a wire coming up here to the horn button, and then it gets tabbed off down here on the other side of that, connecting. So it does ground it makes the steering column a ground. So when you push the button for this wire, it connects everything. Yeah, there you go. That's what it does. Alright, let's snake that wire up through there, and then we'll get another wire following behind it and we'll pull it through. I've given this a little turn so you can see it a little better. So, there's our wire, and it's not going to get twisted up or anything. It just spins, okay, and then it goes through this bolt right here, and it's grounded on the frame up here, okay. So now you've got a wire going up there, and this unit right here is isolated because it's rubber mounted, okay. And when you push the button, it grounds the whole steering wheel, okay. And then this little tab, of course, is attached to that steering wheel, and so this goes right here, or it will. I'll have to run a wire down there. So that's the ground wire going down to the horn down here. It's gray right there, but it is brown. It truly is brown. All the grounds are brown on the horn, and I'm not certain if it makes a difference, but I don't think it makes a difference because it's an electromagnet. And then this goes to your power. Okay, so we have a wire coming out of the steering wheel right there, and that's what you're going to hook your horn ring to. So I'm going to get a whole nother steering wheel because this one's junk. So as I'm working on this car, and I'm glad I didn't put the door panels on, or I don't have the door panels, because this lock is giving me fits. When I lock the door and unlock it, it doesn't want to unlock, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and it doesn't want to latch right, and I think a new latch is in order. So everything on the left side's fried, you know. So what kind of latch am I going to get, you know, used? So okay, well, I'm going to cut this short because this is going to be 30 minutes or something like that, and I don't want to get into that on this video because that is going to take 30 minutes on its own, at least, in video. So we're going to get pretty far on the spaghetti system next time, and if not it all done, hooked up where I can put my fenders on. So you guys got one more video of a spaghetti system, and then I can put the fenders on. So the dash turned out pretty nice, not too bad, hey. So kind of like that. I still got to scrape that away. I got to hook up all my. It'll be interesting. It'll be pretty interesting. Wire up my stereo, that kind of stuff. Okay, well, I'm gonna go in and get this on the net, and everybody have a great day. See you later. See you next time. Thank you.